senior class. Seniors, would you please stand and be recognized? I thank you for all of the time that you put in and everything you've done for this program, the school district, and the entire community. Thank you very much. And thank you to our music boosters who make a lot of, I have these grand ideas of things that they would like to do, but the music boosters somehow find a way to try to make it affordable for us to do, and I want to thank all of the music boosters, please. And most importantly, thank all of the parents. Thank you for all of your support of your children and our programs. Thank you very much. And without further ado, we're going to close with the Symphonic Band, and once again, Mr. Nick Lombardelli.
mile up the road, and having spent my entire life from birth in this town, this is an occasion that brings back a myriad of thoughts. I remember every day in each of these buildings, every teacher, every colleague. I seem to have forgotten the bad grades, but remember the good ones. But my biggest memory is of my parents coming to concerts in this very hall and around the county that we would perform, and they would always end the same way. My folks would meet me in the lobby. My mom would be crying usually, and she'd just give me a big hug. My dad would give me this big bear hug, and he'd always say exactly the same thing. The music was so wonderful, I just wish the guest conductor wouldn't give a speech. With all due respect and admiration to my dad, I'd be remiss if not to say something at this juncture. I have the honor of standing in front of more groups than I can number in every state in this country and more nations than I can name. I've stood in bands that represent the armed forces of the United States of America. I've stood on the door of Buckingham Palace. I've conducted every known band that I can think of. And I would train them all, my friends, for 5 minutes on stage with this group of young people. See, what you're party to tonight, whether you want it to be or not, is a scam. It is a fraud that should have the network news here. And that scam that you're part of is that I could stand here and let you hear words that would make you think that I have anything whatsoever to do with this. That fraud is that the people who deserve your applause, the people who deserve the time on the podium with them, they're the ones who have given that up so that I could have a great joy in my life. All of the music teachers here in this wonderful school district, but especially the gentleman who stands in front of these folks every day and has the honor and joy and privilege. And I would like to help, if you would, you set me straight with the record. And that would be to give the applause to the person who is deserving of it, and that is Mr. Aaron Stroop. I want to thank the administration of Lower Moreland School District for having always and still know what is important in education. I want to thank the families and administrators and teachers here, but most importantly, these young people seated on the stage and having performed all evening. I have studied with some of the finest people I think the world has, but who I am is because of this building. And though it will finally fall down someday, it has nothing to do with the bricks that hold it together. It is the spirit of education and the spirit of teaching and the spirit of humanity that rests in the hands of this community and is entrusted to its faculty and is passed on to its students. The younger ones and the old bald guy who can barely remember walking on the stage 40 years ago. I would like to thank you for allowing me to once again come home. And for your kindness. And because I can feel my Father's presence looming from the heavens, we'll leave you with my portion of this wonderful ensemble's performance, and that is a remarkable piece by a dear friend, Robert Sheldon, entitled River Trail Expedition.
had just as many speeches as it had pieces of music. But for us seniors, this is the culmination of 4 years of being on this stage, and this is how we want to end it.
So, hello everyone. My name is Kate, and up here with me are Kyle and Andrew. So, as Andrew said before, we are all seniors, which means that we've been in the band program for the past 4 years. And over the past 4 years, band has become one of, the most important part of my high school experience. It's, on the one hand, it's a class and it's an activity, but over the past 4 years, it's also become a lot like a family. And as much as that's because of the other members of the band and the program itself, the band program would not be a family to me if it wasn't for one person, and that one person is Mr. Stroop. Honestly, as my parents can tell you, I probably spend more time in the band room than I spend at home. But for every hour that any of us spend here, that any of us spend rehearsing or practicing, Mr. Stroop spends more. He spends so much time and so much effort finding guest conductors like Dr. Boonshaft, commissioning pieces for us, finding music for us to play, finding festivals for us to attend, sometimes years in advance, and then planning those, getting us there, booking hotels, booking trips. He puts so much effort into this program. We sacrifice time with our families to be here, but that does not compare to the amount that Mr. Stroop sacrifices. He misses time with his family, he misses his kids' games. He sacrifices so much for this band program, but unfortunately, a lot of the time this goes unrecognized and this goes unthanked. And today, I'd like everyone to thank Mr. Stroop for everything that he does for all of us, and I'd like you to give him a round of applause, please.
Like Kate said, Mr. Stroop puts a lot of effort in this. He gets us guest conductors like Dr. Peter Boonshaft and student conductors who are working towards music degrees like Mr. Lombardelli, who was here earlier. And he mentioned earlier, it's difficult for both us and for them to come in and work with an unfamiliar group, an unfamiliar person, learn how they conduct, learn how we play. And they are amazing at doing it. They did a great job, I think you guys can see. But again, it just never would happen without Mr. Stroop, and it's an amazing experience just being in the program. And in the past, I think, week, I've had 2 separate people tell me that this program would not be anything like it is without him. We are extremely, extremely lucky to be in a district that can afford a music program, but more importantly, we're lucky to be in a district that has a conductor, a teacher who cares as much as Mr. Stroop does, and we're really, really thankful for him. So.
I'm sure a lot of the students know that Mr. Stroop has some sayings, little phrases that he uses to remind us of how to play our parts of our music. In reflection, we call them Stroop sermonettes. Some examples include number 49, high note, light note. Number 712, as volume goes up, as volume goes down, effort goes up. And number 3, in slow music, never breathe at a bar line. But numbers 1 and 2 are not specifically tied to how to play our instruments. Number 2. Band is the only class that requires 100% participation from 100% of the members. When the trumpet soloist misses a rehearsal, all we hear is empty space that was meant to be full. When the third clarinet player misses a rehearsal, we will only hear half of a harmony. Sermonette number 1 is I, me versus us, we. Mr. Stroop encourages us every day to think, what am I doing to help the band as a whole? I'm switching to the oboe because next year our 2 oboists are graduating. I'm helping to sell tickets for the pasta dinner on May 14th. I'm being serious. Buy tickets for the pasta dinner on May 14th. Flyers in the lobby. Practice what you preach, guys. And Mr. Stroop teaches us music every day. He spends countless hours making us sound the best we can. Because of him, I'll be continuing my music education in college with a scholarship that without him, I would never have been able to get. But more than the music, Mr. Stroop spends countless hours, over and over, helping us, creating safe spaces, building the characters of everyone on the stage, myself included. And for that, all of us will be forever thankful. So thank you, Mr. Stroop.
at the risk of dragging on any longer, I just want to thank all of you. I want to thank again all the seniors and everyone up there on the stage. Since coming out of college, I've never worked anywhere else, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Thank you very much.